Many years ago, in the quiet little town of Riverside, there lived a young man named Dr. Daniel Hale. From a very early age, Daniel had shown an unusual compassion for others. While most young men in town were busy chasing wealth or social status, Daniel spent his days helping the sick and needy. His reputation as a brilliant and kind-hearted doctor spread quickly. The poor received treatment for free, while the rich, impressed by his skill, offered generous gifts and donations. Slowly, Daniel became the most respected and wealthiest man in Riverside, admired by all. Life seemed perfect when Daniel met Laura Bennett, a beautiful and intelligent young woman who had recently moved back to Riverside after college. Laura had grown up in a modest family, but her heart was as noble as her mind was sharp. The moment she met Daniel, she felt drawn to his quiet confidence, his unwavering honesty, and his genuine care for others. Over time, their friendship blossomed into love. Daniel, who had spent most of his life serving others, had never imagined finding someone who understood him so deeply. Their love grew stronger with each passing day, and soon, they decided to marry. The entire town celebrated their union, believing that Daniel Hale, the kind-hearted healer, had finally found his happiness. For a while, everything seemed perfect. But life, as it often does, had other plans. One afternoon, Laura unexpectedly ran into her old college friend, Adam Ross, a charming but manipulative man with a reputation for deceit. Adam had always envied Laura's success and beauty, and now he saw an opportunity. He invited her to his home under the guise of an old friends' reunion. Once there, Adam revealed his true colors and violated her trust in the most cruel way. Shocked, broken, and ashamed, Laura rushed home and confessed everything to Daniel, hoping for understanding and support. Daniel's heart shattered into 1,000 pieces. He wanted to believe her, to hold her and tell her that everything would be okay, but a seed of doubt had already planted itself. Instead of comforting Laura, he questioned her, letting his own insecurities and fear of betrayal cloud his judgment. The love they had cherished for years crumbled in an instant. Unable to bear the weight of heartbreak and disappointment, Daniel left Riverside. He settled in a distant town, hoping to start over. He opened a new clinic, treating patients as he always had. But the man who had once been kind and gentle began to change. Bitterness crept into his heart. The pain of betrayal twisted him, and over time, Daniel became harsh, even cruel, toward those around him. Rumors spread that he had begun targeting young women, taking advantage of the very trust he had once honored. Despite the whispers, many still hesitated to believe it. After all, Daniel Hale had been the town's hero. Meanwhile, in Riverside, a brave and determined young woman named Tina Harper could not ignore the growing danger. She had lost her sister to Adam's manipulations years ago and had been quietly gathering evidence against both men. Using clever tricks like chili powder and a hidden tape recorder, she documented Daniel's dark deeds. She knew the town needed the truth, no matter how shocking it might be. The day finally came when Tina confronted Daniel in the town square, her hands trembling but her resolve firm. "Daniel Hale," she called out, "it's time everyone knew who you really are." With a press of a button, the tape recorder played a chilling account of his actions. The crowd gasped in horror, unable to believe that the man they had once revered could commit such atrocities. Daniel's face turned red with rage, his voice shaking. "Yes, I did all this," he shouted. "But you don't understand. The real monster is Adam Ross. He didn't just destroy Laura, he ruined the lives of dozens of women. I became what I am only after his cruelty forced me down this path." The crowd fell silent, stunned by the confession. Daniel's words sent shockwaves through Riverside. Investigations began immediately. Adam, who had hidden behind wealth and influence for years, was finally exposed. Evidence of his manipulation, deceit, and abuse of power came to light. The town learned that Adam had destroyed countless lives while remaining untouchable, until now. The people were divided. Some felt pity for Daniel, believing that he too had been victimized and that his descent into darkness was born from suffering and revenge. Others argued that no personal pain could ever justify harming innocent lives. Heated debates filled the streets, dividing friends and families alike. Ultimately, justice was served. Adam Ross was sentenced to death for his crimes, ensuring that he could harm no one ever again. Daniel Hale, however, was punished for his deeds. Publicly whipped and humiliated, he was banished from Riverside, forced to leave behind the life he had built. Exile, however, became a turning point. In a distant land, Daniel confronted the man he had become. The bitterness and anger slowly faded, replaced by reflection and remorse. He opened clinics for the poor, protected orphans, and devoted himself to helping the helpless. Children who had nowhere else to turn found a guardian in him, and towns that had never known him as a healer now saw the man he had always wanted to be. Yet, deep in his heart, Daniel carried the weight of regret. He remembered Laura's face, the life they could have had, and the happiness he had destroyed with his own hands. He understood, perhaps too late, that even heroes can fall, and that redemption, no matter how complete, cannot erase the mistakes of the past. Years later, people spoke of Daniel Hale in hushed tones, not as the man who had brought pain, nor as the villain, but as a symbol of how human beings can change. A life of darkness can lead back to light, but scars, visible or invisible, remain forever. And for Daniel, the memory of lost love, betrayal, and his own misdeeds became a quiet reminder that every choice, every doubt, every moment of fear can alter the course of a life, for better or for worse.